Colac, scenic and historic story trail. The Colac story trail will take you approximately 2.5 hours. The weather is generally mild and the distance is 3.7 kilometres. The walk is mostly flat. It starts at the visitor centre, follows north along the Barongarook Creek, through the Botanical Gardens, down historic Hesse Street to the Memorial Square, concluding at the same start point. Colac is known as the gateway to the Otways National Parks. It is an important civic centre at the eastern edge of the world's third largest volcanic plain, scattered with craters and cones. The city is at the centre of one of Australia's premier pastoral regions. Other industries include forestry, agriculture and tourism. The city has a population of around 12,500. Most likely, Colac derived its name from the Colladjin or Gulijan First Peoples of the area. Story trails are best experienced using any mobile device with headsets. You are free to download and share this story trail. We will guide you to each story point. Each story point engages you with images, audio and text. We recommend pausing the video after each story point. Explore and press play to proceed. Your story trail starts at the Colac Visitor Information Centre on corner of Murray and Queen Streets. Parking is via the Queen Street entrance. The story trail includes Barongarook Creek Walk, First People, Lake Colac Views, Botanical Gardens, St Mary's Church, Historical Hesse Street, Barongarook, Memorial Square, Cliff Young Park, Historic Town Architecture. Proceed to the Queen Street footpath. Directions to your next story point. Walk north, right, along Queen Street and cross over Murray Street. Turn right and follow the sign to Barongarook Creek. Follow the gravel path to the left of the 1st Colac Scouts and to the right of the 3rd and 4th Scouts. Then follow the path north. Always stay to the left side of the creek. Enjoy the stroll. In total, this section of the walk is 1 kilometre approximately. Barongarook is Gulijan Colladjin First People, word meaning running water. It is the main freshwater stream flowing north into Lake Colac. Look for the abundant bird life, ducks and other water birds, and natural bush plantscapes. For our next story point, always keep to the left side of the creek. Along the way you will find seating. Sit and learn about the first people, Indigenous and white, in the area. Before European settlement, the area around Lake Colac was occupied by the Colladjin people. Most likely several hundred, living in tribes, camped around the resources offered by the lake. In 1837, explorers Gellibrand and Hess went missing in the area. Their bodies were never found and they were presumed to have perished in the rugged Otway Ranges. Their names are honoured in the township of Gellibrand, a river, and as Colac street names. Oh hello, I'm Hugh Murray, the founder of Colac. My family had settled in Tasmania. We heard about the open plains of the Port Phillip district and decided to establish ourselves in the western Port Phillip region. We took horses and sheep with us. I built my first house here, beside the Barongarook Creek in 1837. Murray Street bears my name. I was the first president of the Colac Shire, in many ways laid the foundations of the town. Some people call me the King of Colac. To reach your next story point, continue north until you reach the Lake Colac Caravan Park. Follow the sign to Lake Colac. Walk to the right of the seating pavilion. Follow the path. It will wind around to the left into the Botanical Gardens. Look for the climate change marker. Take the right side path. It will take you along the southern edge of the lake. Seated viewing is on your right in approximately 100 or so metres. Lake Colac is Victoria's largest freshwater lake. It was formed by volcanic activity that blocks several freshwater streams in the area. It is 33 kilometres in circumference with a maximum depth of 2.5 metres. In drought periods it dries out, revealing a cracked mud base. It's time to wander and discover the beauty of the gardens. Take a moment to sit and reflect. Press play to proceed. Covering 15 hectares, the Botanical Gardens contain over 1,000 specimens, more than any other provincial garden in Victoria. Look for the giant monkey puzzle trees with their crocodile skin-like bark, the beautiful rose garden arbour. Take time to sit down and enjoy the fountain and pond. Stop by the cannon and learn about its interesting history. Take a rainforest walk which replicates the flora seen in the Otway Ranges forest. To reach your next story point, it doesn't matter which path you take. Your aim is to finish at the western entrance to the gardens. Across the intersection is your next story point, St Mary's Church. The original St Mary's was erected in 1883. This new church, featuring modern design, was built in 1980. It features a stained glass roof, the work of a local craftsman. Can you see the bell? The next story point is historical Hess Street. Walk east along Fine Street and turn right into Hess Street. Stop to appreciate the housing and churches in this beautiful tree-lined street. Many homes in this vicinity display the Federation and Queen Anne architecture. This residential style was established in the 1890s boom period. Of particular interest are the Anglican and Uniting Church. St Andrew's Uniting Church is an outstanding example of Gothic-style architecture. It was constructed of basalt, which is said to have been transported from New Zealand as ballast on sailing ships bound for the goldfields. At the intersection of Hess Street and Manifold Street, turn right and walk up to Gellibrand Street. Your next story point is on the corner. Barongarook is a great example of a mix of Federation Queen Anne and the Art Nouveau decorative look that was revived during the last quarter of the 19th century. Barongarook features the richness and attention to detail of these trends in residential design. Built in 1861, it served as a private hospital till 1926. It is unusual as it is built of timber. Look for complex roofline and half-timbered gables, elaborate tall chimneys capped with ceramic pots. Your next story point is the Memorial Square Garden and Cenotaph. Walk south along Gellibrand Street to the Memorial Square Park. You can't miss it. Proceed to the Cenotaph. The Memorial Square Park is dedicated to those who fought in World War I and subsequent wars. The focal point is a beautiful sandstone monument. Its design involves a low wall and two tall columns facing a pool of remembrance. The memorial was opened in 1957. In 2015, a wall of tears of 403 woolen poppies, representing the number of Colac and district soldiers who died in the First World War, hung at the cenotaph for the month of April. The next story point is close by. From the cenotaph, walk east, left, to the corner of Hess and Murray Street. The park celebrates an Australian marathon legend, Cliff Young, who originated from Beach Forest in the Otways to the south of Colac. Take a moment to read about his incredible achievements. Subsequently, an annual event attracting world-class marathon runners was held on the Cliff Young track. The event ceased after 2006. Your next story point takes in some historic street architecture in Murray Street. Cross over Hesse Street and walk east along Murray Street. To your right you will see some distinguishing buildings, and on the corner of Murray and Queen Street as well. Buildings of note: 1 Murray Street, built in 1844, originally it was the Crook and Plaid Inn. Today it's a restaurant with a classical stone facade and timber front joinery. 8 Murray Street, the Prince of Wales Hotel, built in 1874. On the southwestern corner is the Colac Post Office, 1876. Adjacent is the Shire Hall, 1879. 26 Murray Street, built in 1885. It was a gentleman's club. Then it became the National Bank. Cross at the traffic lights and enjoy the corner garden. Your story trail has concluded. We hope you have enjoyed your Colac story trail. Feel free to share this story trail with friends. Happy trails! By the way, coming up is a short cameo with Cliff Young.
Do you reckon you'll make it all right?
No worries. With this team behind me, I'll make it all right. Make it. We've been practically there now. But I'm fairly fresh. If there was a good sort around, I'd take her out, I reckon. I'm going to have a shower in Melbourne, and clean my teeth. Haven't cleaned my teeth since the run started. Couldn't find any water.
Can you go straight through?
Yeah, only stop now and again like this, a bit of food and change shoes, that's better. Won't stop for long, won't rest. No time to rest.